Hey guys, I'm Tyler and I just picked up this incredibly clean Toyota pickup. Let's go check it out. This is my 2001 Toyota Tundra four-wheel drive with the 4.7 liter V8, and this is the SR5 trim. It's completely stock, single owner, and we picked it up with 194,000 miles for about 8 grand here. Got some maintenance that needs to be done, and then we're going to do the timing belt and the radiator. That's good preventative maintenance, and we're also going to be doing the ball joints. This thing is in great shape. The paint is immaculate, and all around the vehicles just looks super good and runs super nice. That paint is still super glossy. All the badges are still on there. The chrome's in great shape here. Everything looks incredibly good. Taillights aren't fading at all. The wheels are in as good a shape as can really be expected. They're basically new looking, except just a little wear and tear on the lug nuts from being, removed here and there. The headlights are in great shape, and the front end is really the only blemish. While the chrome bumper and everything is in great shape, some of this paint along the grille just isn't quite perfect. Idaho has a lot of construction, and so I'm guessing this thing's been behind a gravel truck at some point and just didn't quite hold up to it, which, I can't blame it. No accidents. This is a clean title, one owner pickup. Now, one of the reasons that it was 8K is because the four-wheel drive low needs servicing. It doesn't engage, which is a common problem with the four-wheel drive systems on these Tundras. It's an automatic, like electronic four-wheel drive system with an ADD actuator, as I understand it, and so that needs to be replaced, and so the price was dropped from the original asking price down to $8,000. And of course, no truck is truly a clean truck without this. A perfectly clean underside with very little to no rust. A nice black frame and undercarriage with really no terrible awful rust. The exhaust and the frame's a little pitted, but honestly, everything's in great shape, and that's what you like to see. It has this Duraliner lining, which is held up really good. This right here is actually the original trim piece that the owner gave us that goes on top of all of here. He kept that. Factory mud flaps, everything that came with this truck is still on it. Still have the original owner's manual and this cool little pocket owner's manual. Super awesome that the original owner hung on to these, and now that I get to keep them, I'll definitely get use out of these. And lastly, of course, here is the actual engine bay here. Our V8, 4.7 liter I-Force, and this engine bay just has tons of room. Really nice, good condition. Pretty brand new battery here. Everything looks pretty darn good. There's one accessory wire here. I've been told it's for an amp that the owner had installed, so I guess it's the only not stock part about it. But honestly, super great shape. We got hood struts here, so there's no bar you have to prop it up with. We've got the nice factory red Toyota coolant. Let's go check out the interior here. Again, this paint. Everything's nice and clean. There's no scratches or dents hardly anywhere. The floor mats are OEM. The seat's hardly worn at all on that place where people typically get out and crush the seat. Super nice interior. Everything works exactly as it should. Nice bucket seat in the front here. Open the rear door. Oops, got my shoes in there. But yeah, it honestly looks good. And this is after I took it in the mountains for a weekend already. Here's the driver's cockpit view. I really do like this interior. It's super simple. I love air conditioning knobs. It's one of my favorite things. Everything looks like it's in great shape, really, honestly. Cup holders still work like new. Radio still works. All the gauges work. We got the oil pressure gauge in there. Everything. It's really all in great shape. This reminds me of my first vehicle, which was a third gen Toyota 4Runner. It was a 2000. It was two-wheel drive. But it reminds me, just simple, clean interior, plenty comfortable, plenty of features for just a basic four-wheel drive that just runs and goes. And that's what this truck is built to do. And I'm glad you can see it, all the way from the engine through to the interior. It works. It's not fancy, but it's reliable, it's clean, and that's what makes this truck really awesome in my opinion. Let's start it up, and like Scotty Kilmer says, it's a Toyota, so it'll start right up. Sure enough, all good, no check engine lights, AC blows cold. Let's just take it for a drive and we'll do a little bit of talking and driving here. So why did I get a Tundra? Well, I had an R50 Pathfinder and that was nice. It had a V6 with 240 horsepower, which for a vehicle that old, was 2003, that's a pretty killer deal, honestly. But it burned a lot of oil, so here I am. I need something that doesn't burn oil, that's pretty reliable, and is on a budget. And I was looking at these first gen Tundras like, wow, so it's a truck, so I can haul plenty, tow if I need to, move lots of stuff around whenever I need to. And with a V8 that lasts forever, this is the same engine that powers the Land Cruisers, the GXs, the LXs. This is a solid, reliable drivetrain. The transmissions seem to hold up really well. Anytime you hop on the used market and you see a vehicle with, examples with 400, 500,000 miles and people are still trying to sell them, not scrap them, you're getting into a good platform. And that's what I liked about the Tundra. They're reliable. They have their issues. This exhaust manifold gasket goes out, or actually the exhaust manifold goes out. The radiator is going to need replacing. The lower ball joint failures are pretty well documented issue. But overall, the actual engine components, the transmission components, they're all super solid, and people seem to take good care of these. That was the other nice thing to see on the used market, is that people take really good care of these vehicles. It's common that by the time a vehicle's 20 years old, people just start trashing them. And that's what I noticed a little bit in the Pathfinder market when I was looking at selling mine and maybe getting another one, is the used market's pretty hard to navigate. People beat them up and they treat them like a 20-year-old vehicle. Whereas this Tundra, single owner, clean, it's something you can feel confident and good buying about. And that's how I ended up here in this vehicle. Decent horsepower, decent gas mileage. This thing's getting 17 or 18 mixed driving, which, I'll take it. That's pretty good in my opinion. Take it camping, that's primarily why I usually have a vehicle with four-wheel drive, because I do go camping and I do have to drive around in the winters. So it's nice to have that. I wheeled the Pathfinder. I put a front locker in it. I wheeled it. I needed the sliders. I was getting body damage and then still using my sliders afterwards, but I'm not sure how hard I'll push this. I think, truthfully, you can push it as hard or harder. I think it's, it's stout, really well designed vehicle. I'm just not sure I want it to, with how nice it is and the longer wheelbase. It just means I'm gonna need more armor to do the same stuff, or more lift, or bigger tire. It's gonna have to be a little more extreme in one respect or another. But I'm excited about this vehicle, and we're just gonna see what it takes. Kind of maintain it and take it out, adventure with it. Like I said, I've got some maintenance planned. Here, you hear that V8? This thing would probably sound really good with some headers on. That's one of the things I have been looking at, just because I think that is an exhaust leak making a little tick when I get on the throttle, but we'll see. I'm excited to have an aftermarket to work with. I think that will be fun. The Pathfinder didn't have a lot of aftermarket support. I had half Toyota parts on my Pathfinder just to modify it. Headlights, sliders, all sorts of different stuff. It was built for Toyotas or built for other vehicles. Land Rover rear springs. My rear diff was out of an Xterra. I think the Tundra is going to be much better supported. So yeah, that's how I ended up in this vehicle, and that's why I'm so excited about it. And if you want to follow along, please, by all means, do. I'm gonna post as much as I can reasonably about this thing, so we'll just keep documenting the journey. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later.